Hey everybody. I think this is over with, but I don't know. I just thought it was a good time to go live. I guess he's leaving. We'll just watch this fella from the sidewalk. Touching hands. What you doing?
Writing a ticket for a traffic accident.
Writing a ticket for a traffic accident.
She pulled out from the curb and cut across 2 lanes, and one car almost hit her, and then the truck with a trailer hit her. So she's at fault for drove on lanes roadway. You can't cut across all 3 lanes.
You can't do that?
Not in front of traffic.
Or in front of the cops?
No, it wasn't us. Come on.
Well, I'm glad you're explaining, Officer Sage. You know, you're always pretty good about that. I wish you would have been on that call yesterday where they tased that kid.
I wasn't on that. I didn't hear about it.
You didn't even hear about it?
No, I don't. Unless I'm involved in it.
You stay out of it?
I stay out of it because I got all my cases to handle.
Do ya? Yeah.
You take care.
Well, thank you. You too.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, you as well. So that's Officer Sage. He's always courteous. There is that. I will give him that. Would he arrest me if he was told to do it and it was an unjust arrest? Absolutely. But he's sure peeling out of here in a hurry. No turn signal. Dude, you just gave me a lecture on traffic. All right, well, they're headed somewhere, so are we. So did you all tune into the premiere that I did earlier? So yesterday I watched Englewood in some kind of traffic stop. I was late to the show. They tased a kid. I'm willing to bet my life on it that they did it because he wasn't complying fast enough. This is Moe's Barbecue, by the way. Remember this place? Where you can sit on the patio and get overserved and be drunk and disorderly. And then there would be like someone like me across the street filming the cops. And you stand up and you start screaming at me from this patio. Shove that camera up your ass, bitch! Uh-huh. That's Moe's Barbecue. Don't come here. Food sucks. Go down the street to the Wok Spicy. W-O-K. Spicy. So let's go for a ride. Let's go see what the Popo are up to. Because they flew out of there in a hurry. So they're on some other call. And we're on another vertical stream. Apparently, because Android doesn't give you the option to do a horizontal stream anymore. So, yeah, if you have time, go back and watch that video that I just published a little bit ago from yesterday's cop watching event. And if you want something to do in the metro area, come get some cameras on the Englewood cops, please. So we need to pay close attention to these servant protectors. There's another Englewood cop. Where's he going? He or she, of course, from the Equal Employment Opportunity Offenders. Sage was probably headed to lunch. He peeled out of there in a hurry. Or there's a call for a homeless individual who looks to be trespassing on shade in a grassy knoll. So let's just go for a little drive. So after he handed that lady her ticket, she grabbed his hand just to show her love and appreciation for keeping her safe, even though she obviously doesn't know how to drive. So hey, have you heard the good news? The lawsuit was officially voted on by Denver City Council last night and approved. The city and county of Denver taxpayers will pay the Bensons $130,000 for civil rights violations called retaliation for First Amendment activity. Flip a U-turn here. You can Google that lawsuit settlement if you want. I think the Denverite picked it up. Denverite, D-E-N-V-E-R-I-T-E. They did a quick, succinct, and to-the-point article on that settlement. We'll be having some more discussions about that settlement because I'm not done. As far as I'm concerned, the appropriate amount of justice was not served by the main culprit cop that targeted and retaliated against my husband. And there's something that, I mean, you can get away with for a little while in targeting me, since I choose to put myself out there and play your stupid cop games. But the second you start targeting my family, your name is forever embedded on my justice list. That all started back in the day when the police thought they were going to target my children through the public education system. Well, I don't know why Sage was peeling out the way he was, but he was in a hurry to go somewhere. No lights, no siren, just, you know, some aggressive driving. That's why nobody cop watches anymore in Colorado, because everything's encrypted. So we have law here now that the police, not only do they not have, not only do they do have qualified immunity, you guys. I mean, please, if you are spreading the message that there's no qualified immunity in Colorado, please stop it, okay? Because it's just not true. Yeah, we have a law that allows police to have no immunity if sued in district court at a state level. It's a state constitution violation. If anything ends up in federal court, the dime is picked up by the taxpayers again. And that's exactly what happened in this scenario with the 2 lawsuits that we just settled. We did try to file one of those in district court, Denver District Court. It was Regan Benson versus Ron Thomas, and it got kicked out, and it had to file in federal court. So I officially take pride in having case law titled Regan Benson versus Ron Thomas, Denver's chief of police, where it establishes pattern and practice, consistent pattern and practice of allowing retaliation for speech through the Denver Police Department. Deep embedded climate and culture issues in the Denver Police Department that they absolutely refuse to fix. They won't even acknowledge them. They just let it go on. And they wait till they get sued. And it doesn't matter because taxpayers just go, yeah, okay. They don't even know. Taxpayers don't even know what the hell's going on. They see social media and who's the most popular on social media and who is campaigning for more government and more police. And that's what we get every single time. Denver just turned loose like 33 new officers, even though the messaging in the press is that the police budget has been cut so severely in Denver that they just don't have enough cops. It's lies and propaganda and bullshit. And people with the least amount of knowledge are the most likely to comply. And it's nauseating. It's truly nauseating. So, is there a big win in this settlement? No, there's not. Is anything going to change? No, it's not. It's just not. Denver's going to go, okay, well, people are going to be watching us for a little while. And so we'll behave a little bit. We'll take those no recording signs off the DPD lobby doors that say you don't have a right to the First Amendment while dealing with officers in the city and county of Denver, even though we have state law that says we have a right to record the police when they are exercising their official duties. We still will throw Regan Benson in jail 3 times for exercising in constitutionally protected activity by recording us in public lobbies in public police departments. Make that shit make sense. And by the way, I'm still set for trial on the case number 3 of that. The first 2 were dismissed. However, they actually don't make for good federal lawsuits, believe it or not. Because there's case law. That allows restrictions. So I'm not real sure what's going to happen with all of that. Just have to wait and see. But in the interim, since I've settled these 2 lawsuits, those signs have come off the doors. Is there policy that says we have an absolute right to record in those lobbies? No. They're not going to change their policy. Because they want that ability for arbitrary application for whenever they deem it necessary to stifle your right to speech. It's just that simple. I'll stop here in just a second and look at that chat. See what's up. See who's in here. This is a boring moment. We're currently on a drive in Englewood, Colorado. Trying to locate where all this police action is going down. Which there's probably none at this point. They all just got the word over the radio. You guys, she's out there. Get the hell off the street. Come home. We'll huddle. We'll figure out what calls we're going to take and what calls we're going to ignore. If Regan Benson calls 911 because there's an elderly man down on the sidewalk and he needs medical attention, today we'll probably address that because we got busted over that. So if we get a 911 call for medical and she's not asking for cops, let's not send any cops out today. True story. And if you haven't seen that post on my community tab, go check it out, please. Because there was a council request by a council member here in Englewood named Rita Russell. I had made public comment about this delay in sending help when one morning, a couple weeks ago, going on probably about 3 weeks ago now, I drive around the corner. It's about 100 degrees, and there's a little elderly man laying on the sidewalk, and he's kind of rolling around, reaching for his walker. And he's on a hot sidewalk next to a hot brick building. And so I pulled over to help him. And he was mostly conscious, but he wasn't communicating very well. I said, sir, do you need medical help? Do you want me to call you an ambulance? And he said, yes. And I didn't hesitate. I made this call at 12:34. The dispatcher was mostly a dipshit. Was more concerned about the description of the man. Wanted to know if he was white, black, Hispanic, a little black man. I didn't know his name. He didn't tell me his name. I didn't give a name. Didn't matter. All I cared about was getting that ambulance there. And I had to ask her, are you sending an ambulance? I told her it was strictly a medical call. He needed an ambulance. He was down on the ground. I didn't know if he had a broken hip. I didn't know what was going on. Wasn't going to pick him up. So within a couple minutes, I mean, it was quick. Within a couple minutes, the cops do show up. 2 of them. One stays away, and the other one comes walking up in a leisurely stroll like he's got nothing better to do, looks down at the ground, at the man on the ground, and he says, what's going on, Joe? The hell do you mean, what's going on? Joe. He knew the guy's name. So he was obviously familiar to the Englewood Police Department and obviously to the paramedics. By the time they got there, they knew the man. And then he proceeded to argue with me. As this man is laying down on the ground, he offered no help. He offered no shielding from the sun. As I'm standing over the man so he can be shaded by my body blocking the sun, so the sun wasn't beating on his face. I'm kind of straddling this guy, and I'm looking at this cop, and I'm like, where's the ambulance? And he looks at me, and he turns around and he gets on his radio. This was after we'd had a few other words. I'm like, are you one of those punk ass cops from Englewood? I said, you better get a fucking ambulance here now. And so he calls for the ambulance, but doesn't tell me that's what he did. Englewood did not dispatch medical help until 12:42 for this man. The ambulance arrived somewhere in the ballpark of 12:44 and 12:46, based on my records and based on what Englewood says. I had to go to Denver's 911 director to tell them, look, you guys contract, you allow Englewood use of medical services. If anyone doesn't know this, in the city of Englewood, taxpayers in Denver pick up a large portion of the bill for Englewood to have fire and ambulance in their city. Yet, City Council is working on shutting down public comment because if you don't live in Englewood, we don't want to hear from you. Yeah, bullshit. You're going to hear from me one way or another. And you better hope that it's just at that microphone. And Joe Anderson, I mean, he's going to get his feelings hurt over this, and that's going to be a threat. And he's gonna call Popo and say, do you hear Regan? She's threatening everybody. So got a bunch of pussies over here. Who need to go on the Frauditor channel to sell their story about we're so glad that the trolls on Facebook are calling the Englewood PD from foreign countries and abusing our 911 system to prosecute Regan Benson over here in Englewood, Colorado. Yeah, so anyway, back to this emergency call. Sorry. So this ambulance shows up for this little elderly man on the sidewalk. And the ambulance guy gets out and says, oh yeah, it's Joe so-and-so. Says his last name. I was like, this isn't good. How many times have they denied medical help for this little elderly man? And I don't even care what his issue was. I don't care if this guy lays on the sidewalk and calls 911 every day. I don't care. Not the point. I don't care if he does that every day and people drive by and call 911 every single day for this guy. I do not care. You send medical. That's how it works. That's what we pay for. So they load little Joe up in the ambulance. And then here comes the fire truck. Yeah. Way late to the show. Fire truck crew gets out of the fire truck, and the ambulance guy jumps out of the ambulance, throws his hands up in the air. He's like, no, I called you guys off a couple minutes ago. And one of the firemen throws his hands up in the air. He's like, what? And so the fire crew gets back in the fire truck and leaves. Lunchtime. Tacos and margaritas. Boxing fans. You got my back, huh? Get that camera out here. You going to lunch? Are you going to lunch? I can't hear you. He's got to do something real quick, he said. I'm in a public alley, by the way. I'm not on private property. And Cap, I know you'd be here in a heartbeat. Thank you, my friend. We'll see what real quick means. Okay, so anyway, so back to little Joe. So Joe, they put him in the ambulance. Fire truck shows up. They leave. But the ambulance sits there in the street. And right before they put this little man, Joe, in the ambulance, I said to them, are you going to take his walker? Because they kind of left it on the sidewalk. It's a nice walker. He needs his walker. And all his stuff is in his walker. Oh, and by the way, here's this other little important part as well. Joe, when I was down kind of on the ground with Joe, talking to him, I smelled a little bit of alcohol. I wasn't assessing whether or not Joe was drunk. I don't care. He's down on the ground. Something's wrong. Maybe he is that intoxicated. But the problem was it was 100 degrees, right? And I was not about to play doctor on the street with this elderly man who was dressed in winter gear, by the way, looked like he was in bed and maybe got out to, I don't know, roll down to the store. I don't know, but he was in full winter gear, had a hat on. It was way too hot for all of that. So I'm not about to play doctor. They need to take him to the hospital, but they're just sitting there. And his walker is outside of the ambulance. But before they put him in that ambulance, they went through his walker. The ambulance worker went through his walker and pulled out a bottle. I'm assuming, I didn't get a good look at it. Clear, liquid, bottle. And he goes, yep, a little bit of booze, a little bit of heat. I mean, this guy is going through this guy's walker, looking for a reason, I don't know, to make a diagnosis right there on the street. Seriously? And the other ambulance worker with him, a woman, as far as I could tell, was doing her job. And she asked me, she said, did you happen to see how he fell? That's pertinent information, right? Did he fall on his head? Did he trip and fall and his hip is broke? She's probably trying to do her job. I said, no, I did not see how he fell. And she said, okay, thank you. So they put him in the ambulance. They continue to sit in the street. I get in my car and I'm watching. And I'm like, oh, hell no. They were going to try to put him back out on the street. They have denied this guy medical. We see this before. We've seen this in Denver with the homeless. In some cases, yes, that's okay. It depends on the circumstance, right? Well, this was a circumstance that didn't call to put this guy back out on the street. So ultimately they leave and they took him to the hospital because I ended up at that hospital, Swedish, that night because of a different situation. And little Joe was sitting in the waiting room, waiting for his Uber. They were calling him an Uber to get back home. Joe was not homeless. He's a housed individual in senior housing over there somewhere in Englewood. And he had fallen and he'd hit his head very hard. So I talked to Joe for a little bit in the waiting room, and sweet little old man, and we exchanged phone numbers and, you know, off we went. But the point being that little guy had to lay there and suffer a little bit longer because dispatch in Englewood wanted to play games. Now, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I thought, well, maybe it was just because of me. Maybe this isn't pattern and practice, if you will, in Englewood, but it turns out it is. Because after I brought it to the attention of the city council, Rita Russell did a council request. They call them council requests here in Englewood, where they ask city staff to reply to council questions publicly. It's really a very neat process. And you can actually go online and look for those questions and answers. And so I did that. And I saw that she had asked the police department to respond to why there wasn't faster response. Boy, did they write a stupid response. Deputy Chief Vance Fender literally admits that they allowed the dispatcher to reprioritize this call, send out cops instead to make sure the scene was secure. Yeah, go read that if you have a minute. It's on my community tab. And they literally admit that if they get a medical call, they're going to send cops out first to secure the scene. Then they lied. Here he comes. Then they lied and said that I didn't provide any details. No free lunch?
I didn't get lunch.
You weren't going for free lunch?
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day. You too. They didn't come out with any paperwork either. Okay, off we go. Isn't that why every cop goes to a restaurant for free lunch? Little story from last night. I was here in the city of Englewood. By the way, I'm collecting signatures for 2 citizen initiatives to go on the ballot in the city of Englewood this November. Do you think that the citizens of Englewood should be able to vote for their mayor? Yeah, I think so. That is one thing that Englewood is definitely not doing right. However, will it make a big difference? I don't know. We'll see. And the second petition I'm carrying is, should there be a supermajority to replace a vacancy on the city council? The answer is yes. So if they have a vacancy, it should take 4 votes to replace that person. So that replacement doesn't end up being friends with everybody on the city council. The 7-member city council. So those are 2 initiatives that the citizens of Englewood want to put on their on the ballot in November to ask the citizenry, should we be able to do this? Yes or no? So I can carry those petitions. So I was out getting some signatures last night. And I just happened to see this Englewood cop pull into this neighborhood. And so I was most curious what that public servant was doing. So I pulled over and I watched from the street. This cop gets out, goes up to the door. Well, actually, there was a guy waiting in the front yard for this cop. This cop goes and talks to him, comes back to his patrol vehicle, and gets a long gun out of the back of his patrol vehicle. I knew it was some kind of pellet gun. And he goes walking back into this yard with this guy and proceeds to fire this pellet gun down into the ground. Well, ultimately what had happened, I think it was a bird of some sort, had flew into the window of this house because he walked up to the window and kind of pointed at it. I don't know if it was broke or the screen or whatever the case was. And then he came back with a giant black trash bag and loaded up whatever he just disposed of in that front yard. So I thought, well, that was interesting. So if you've got a wildlife problem, I guess, in Englewood, and it can be put down, you can call the cops. They'll come put it down for you. That's another issue here in the city of Englewood. Their whole animal... I don't know how you feel about animal control and animal management and all that stuff, and should government be in charge of it? No. Are there better ways to provide those services? Yeah, I say there are, the free market. However, when it comes to animal cruelty issues, I do take those serious. Could a free market handle that? Of course. But here we are with government. So how do we address animal cruelty situations? Oh dear, I know I just opened up a can of worms. Yeah, DJ, I don't think so. I don't think it was a bald eagle. And I'm kind of wondering if it might have been a raccoon, but I can't quite figure out why they were pointing at the window and the window looked broke. Well, here comes code enforcement. Speaking of code enforcement, they're gathering over here under the shady tree. So code enforcement in Englewood is their animal control, if you will. And then I think they contract their services with a humane society in Littleton. I haven't quite unraveled all of this yet. I know how Denver works, and I know how Denver responds to animal cruelty calls, dangerous dogs, things like that, right? But here in Englewood, it's very selective how they do that. And I know this is a very touchy subject. Like the librarians in Englewood say, Regan Benson, we know she's a touchy subject. This body cam footage, you know, I talk about this a lot, you guys. This body cam footage from the Englewood Library just plays through my head quite a bit. Two bitches from the library sit with a cop for 40 minutes and talk shit about how scared they are of me and how hurt their feelings are. And they don't quite know what to do because Regan Benson is a touchy subject. So is animal cruelty, right? Yeah, I don't know, DJ. For them. Avila. Gil, thank you. Appreciate your comments. No, I'm not a cop. Big hoss. What's your point? I've seen a few of your comments. What's your deal? These vertical streams are always a blast, aren't they? So I'm watching these two code enforcement people over here. Just waste time, I guess. I think this building might have something to do with code enforcement. Let's check it out. Let's see how friendly or not they are. How's it going?
Good.
Is this code enforcement building? Is this yours, or do you just are you just hanging out here?
No, it is city property.
It is city property.
Yes, it is.
How do you handle animal cruelty situations?
Can you, an example?
Well, let's say an animal's being neglected.
Yes, one moment. Let me get a piece of paper to John.
Okay, thank you. Last time I dealt with this woman, she was less than cooperative. Let's see how this is going to go today. She's on a smoke break. I mean, I'll give her that, but
So
let's
is
do
that
business
a
here.
general question, or?
So, what is the procedure if an animal is being neglected on the streets? What if an animal is living within a homeless community or within belongs to a homeless individual and is not being properly cared for?
Report to our office.
Okay, but what is the process?
And I'll speak in general terms because I don't have
Okay.
specifics at this time. We receive a report. We respond to investigate
Okay.
as to whether whatever the situation may be presents a violation of ordinance.
Ordinance.
Right.
So what is in ordinance that defines neglect for animals?
There are several sections under Title VII.
Okay.
If we're talking, depending on several factors.
All right.
And again, I'll speak in general terms. Just
Okay,
until we
I
get more
appreciate that.
information. And we'll let this helicopter go over so I don't have to.
That's Flight for Life going to the hospital. Title VII, though. I got to remember that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Title VII of the Englewood Municipal Code addresses animal-related issues.
Okay.
We have an animal that is reported. Is the animal in a backyard? Is the animal in a vehicle? And these are just examples.
Right.
Yeah.
What if there's an animal on the streets that is not getting proper food and water? And I guess this gets iffy about medical care, right, for an animal. If an animal is in some kind of distress, who goes out and determines whether or not that is a need for like immediate intervention? And how are animals, what if they're actively dying?
Well, and again, our office, we receive reports, we respond to reports. We take a look at, as part of our investigation, we'll take a look at the situation and go from there, to include the welfare of the animal reporting.
So does Englewood, do you, code enforcement, have the authority to take an animal?
Well, again, our authority can include the impound of an animal.
Okay.
However, again, I'm speaking in general terms only because I don't have
I
the
get that.
specific situation in front
But
of
you
me.
have authority to impound.
Yes.
You don't physically do it though, right? Does the Humane Society in Littleton
Our officers have the authority to impound.
and take that action on site? You don't have to call for another
If the situation warrants.
if
And
it
that's
warrants?
why, and I don't know if you have a specific situation that our officers can look into.
Yeah, I might. I
Okay.
might.
Okay. Well, all reports.
I'm new to the whole thing in
Yeah.
Englewood. I mean, I know exactly how Denver works and how
Yeah.
Denver handles it, but
Okay.
I don't know how Englewood handles it. And yeah, I guess I have to look at code more. So,
Well, very good. Know that our office can be reached regular business hours. You
Okay.
can contact our office. You can. And
do you have a
anyone-
card?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Can also report through police dispatch.
Oh, okay.
And of course, that's a 24-hour line.
Right.
Whereas our line is business hours.
Oh, okay. That's good to know too. Thank you.
There we go.
Sweet. I very
Yes.
much appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Here, what I'll do is on the back is I will put dispatch. Of course, if there's an emergency, we're dialing 911.
Yeah, understood.
Victor 1, 102.
If it's a life or death emergency, I would only dial 911.
Absolutely.
I would never dial 911 probably for an animal in distress. I don't think I would do that unless it was actively dying.
Okay, very good. My
All right.
card, however, I left police dispatch
Okay.
and code enforcement and animal welfare main line for you.
Okay.
And then again,
Do you have email on here?
there
your-
is email on there.
Is it yours? Yep. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
And again, any report to provide as much information as the caller can, and then our officers take the information and we respond from there for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate your
Thanks.
time.
Sure
Have a good
thing.
one.
Have a great afternoon.
You too. Okay, well, that was very pleasant, but I'm still not. I'm a little uneasy with how, I'm just going to say, how Englewood handles neglect over here, but animal neglect. That's another touchy subject about not violating the rights of people to have their pets, right? But I'm not going to make any bones about it. There's a lot of shitty stuff that goes on out here, out on the streets, with animals within the homeless community. A lot. There's a lot of breeding going on for profit in conditions that, first of all, don't even, these animals don't have homes. So to have puppies out here in the heat for profit, in the heat and cold, and you're keeping them maybe in a camper or a tent or somewhere else you shouldn't be, that's just 100% cruelty. I am all about spay and neutering. I just am. If you don't like it, that's okay. However, I am also, if you are a person that has the proper setup and you are breeding animals and other people buy your animals and it's legitimate, that's okay. Government doesn't need to be involved in that. But when there are a lot of animals out here living on the streets that aren't being taken care of, yeah, that's a separate issue. And this has long been a crux in my advocacy out here with the homeless. Oh, Irish, this is just no fun, is it? Hey, Lion, how are you? Just reading comments here for a second. You saw a homeless person in Denver that was a cop? I wouldn't want to mess with him? Huh? Thanks, Irish. Sorry. That's messy for the chat. Ugh. Yeah, anyway, if you're in here and you're new to this channel, my mods have full discretion. They run the chat, and if you're in here being stupid and hijacking the chat, you're probably just going to go. So anyway, the animal neglect and abuse thing out here, it's it's a little rampant, and there are a lot of cases where, these animals might be an appearance of companionship for homeless individuals, when in fact they're moneymakers. Whether, people are using them for breeding or for panhandling. They garner responses from the general public when they see you out here panhandling with an animal in 100-degree heat. And because of that, a really bad situation went down a few weeks ago, the same day that little Joe was found on the sidewalk. And we had a homeless individual over here. Some people were trying to help him because he's walking around with a sign, anything helps, will work, especially need dog food. Well, some folks were trying to help, and this homeless individual, for whatever reason, decided in his mind, or was in some level of psychosis. I wouldn't think from drug use, but I don't know. Heat, dehydration, things like that. He became physical with the people that were trying to help his dog. And I know that Englewood knows about this animal, and I'm really kind of disgusted and disappointed that it's been going on all this time. Because unbeknownst to me, this animal isn't getting care. So it's one of those very touchy subjects. But sometimes you have to draw a line in the sand, a hard line. And I just really don't trust Englewood to do that, you see. Randall, I take no crap. That is correct. You can be in love. Just come out here with a camera, please. Come help some homeless folks. Thanks, country. I appreciate that. But anyway, I'm just kind of watching what's going on over here at the cop shop. They know I'm out here. There's probably not too much going on right now. So, any questions? What else should we go see? Avila, how do you say your name? Avlia? In my opinion, homeless people look like some of them could be on drugs, but it's actually the lack of them sleeping normal hours like we do, the lack of trusting others because of their experience. Yeah, there's a lot of that. But I am going to be frankly honest with you right now. The drugs are really, really bad out here within the homeless community right now. Okay? They're really bad. Like, for instance, some banger dude was trying to deal me dope at the bus stop. I've never been that directly confronted, ever. This guy didn't know me from Karen on the street. And I was at the bus stop having a conversation with one of my other guys who was talking about wanting to go to rehab. We were having a great discussion. I'd handed out some water. And this dude comes walking up, literally interrupts our conversation, just has his eyes fixed on me. He's either a cop, a CI, or just a straight hardcore banger. This dude was dressed in total banger attire. Englewood's got this really unique thing over here because they're like a transportation hub for the public transportation system. And one of the light rail stations is the main light rail stations in the entire metro area, and bus routes. So a lot of people come and go in and out of Englewood here. It's very accessible, if you will. And so this particular area is right along the bus route and the light rail route. And this dude, I guess, thought I was looking to buy some dope at the bus stop. I'm still not convinced he wasn't a cop. He was a little too not all put together in the face to be a cop. We've seen cops in encampments before. They've been out there undercover, and they typically don't want anything to do with us advocates, typically. So that's why I thought it was odd with this guy. But anyway, that happened. But at this particular area, a few days prior to that, or maybe it was after, I don't know, there was a lady there, and I gave her some water. She was sitting down, and it was super hot that day, and she really guzzled the water, and I thought, oh, yikes. She's already dehydrated. But she had normal conversation with me. Everything was fine. She drank the water. I left. I see her about an hour later, about a half a mile down the road, where she's probably going to get on the light rail. And she's not the same person. And long story short, she was gonna fight me. I was in my car. First of all, I was in my car. I was never on foot. But she had her shirt off. And she was just in her bra, and I just kind of pulled up by her, rolled down my window. I said, girlfriend, I said, you got to put it back on. I said, somebody's going to call the cops on you. The cops are going to be here. Put your shit back on. F you, and I'm going to kill you. And she starts going off, right? I'm like, oh, shit. She went and got high. So, yeah, don't get out of the car, right? And she's running all over in the street, throwing her shoes and all her clothes and unloading her backpack. And pretty soon she's taking road signs and throwing them over. And she'd already thrown rocks at my car. And so I parked across the street, and I'm just watching. And I'm like, shit, what am I going to do to get this gal help if she needs help? I sure as hell can't call the cops here. Not that I would call the cops, but I don't want them sending the cops, and that's why I can't call for medical in Englewood, because I don't want the fucking cops. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, well, I'm going to have to reach out to somebody at Allied Security. They're the closest crew around, and I'm telling you, this Allied Security crew in Englewood right now at the Civic Center, it's the best ever. If you want to see an Allied crew put together, come over to the Civic Center in Englewood. It's taken a lot of years to get to this point, but these guys are top notch. And so eventually, this cop just blew out of the gate, just blew through the stop sign. Jeez. I don't understand why, first of all, they put that gate there if they don't want to stop at the stop sign. Holy shit, he's doing like 100 miles an hour. Wow. No lights, no nothing, missing a tail light. Holy shit. He's gone. Note that time, please. Wow. No lights, no nothing. There he is, about 2.5 blocks down there. Frickin' dust is flying. No lights. Wow. Through the residential neighborhood. They're going to come out of the cop shop like that and blow through a residential neighborhood like this? No policies, no nothing for lights and sirens, huh? Wow. What a trip. No clue. Just wow. Here on a major street, can see quite a ways. Just gone. That is some bullshit. They don't care. Nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody. I can sit there at that gate and record that all day long. Most of them will behave, but a few of them will one of them blew out of there laughing at me the other day. They don't give a shit. But they'll just start going in and out the other gate. So we need 2 cameras at the Inglewood Cop Shop at each gate for about 4 hours. Who wants to do that? Email me. And at the very least, you can just document how they drive like shit and follow no laws and make everything dangerous. Wow. That was something. He blew out of there like he was on a 911 call, throwing rocks and dirt and everything. No lights, no siren. So anyway, back to this lady. So she's now out in the middle of the street trying to fight people at the light. Still no shirt. Then she's picking up traffic cones and throwing them onto a highway, literally Hampton. And people are stopping and going and picking up these cones. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to get hit by a car. She's going to get hit by a car. Somebody's going to get out of their car and beat the hell out of her. Somebody's got to come help this woman. And it's not going to be me by myself. So I was able to get Allied on the phone, which they in turn called the cops. But by then, she had her bra off, and she is out there just swinging those pendulums. Whew, 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 and she ain't a small girl. True story. You guys, if I had a reality TV show, it would be amazing. Because it shows everything happening in the real, right? It's right there. It's live. I'm not recording everything to blast everything and show people at their worst times and their worst moments, but it is really happening in your world, my world, your kids' world, right? So how are you going to deal with it? Well, you're not going to shield yourself from it. You're not going to shield your kids from it. So figure out how to deal with it in a humane way and a safe way. Is this person dangerous? Is she going to kill me? Is she having a breakdown? She gets some bad dope. What's going on? I knew she wasn't serious about wanting to kick my ass, because if she were, she would have taken the rest of those rocks that she had piled up on the sidewalk, and she would have made sure that she got her point across on my car, which she didn't. And every time she said she was going to kick my ass, she was doing it from 15 feet away. So I knew something was going on with her. Well, when she saw me on the phone, she finally decided to put a jacket back on. This heavy, black, hooded, long sleeve zipper jacket. And the poor girl zipped her little hoo-ha, her little boob in the zipper of this jacket. And I'm like, that hurt. And then she took off, and then the cops showed up. So of course I record all that. They ultimately put her in a cop car in handcuffs because she did try to come after me again when I was recording. I knew she wasn't serious about it, but the cops didn't know what was going on. The cops want to know if I want to be part of this report. Well, sure, I'll be part of the report, but you're not pitting me against her. Well, are you victimized because she threw rocks at your car? No. They wouldn't tell me what they did with her. They put her in the cop car and off she went. They gave me their card and a case number, which I'm not going to get shit for that anyway. But you know what? Let's go try. You want to? You want to go into the PD 1 o'clock this Tuesday and see what happens on this case number and see what they tell me? I already know. We're not going to give you anything, Regan, because that's an active investigation, and per CCJRA, we don't have to tell the public shit. So we're not going to tell you what went on that day. We're not going to tell you what went on yesterday when we tased that kid either. Oh, and if we do, that's going to cost you some big bucks. Oh, you want body cam footage? Okay, that'll be $2,385 for redacted body cam footage. That's Englewood. That's why I'm done playing their stupid games. And they're just going to be on camera now. So let's go over to the window. We haven't been over there for a while. Let's see what happens. Because I got to find... I need a Regan break. Oh, there's Sam Watson going in the gate over there. In his fancy SUV with tinted windows. His unmarked suburban Tahoe, blah, blah, blah. Royalty. Which he's resigned, by the way. Sam Watson, the chief of police, has resigned. Holy shit, there's a lot of cars here. There's a very important meeting going on here today, you guys. The Garden City Police Department is here. Who the hell's the Garden City Police? What the hell's Garden City? Where is Garden City? I'm gonna have to Google that one. I mean, I'm a native here. It's a town in Colorado. It's in Weld County, which is a couple hours from here. The population is 251. How many cops do you think they have? Yeah, look up Garden City. See how many cops they have in Garden City? I'm just not that excited to be here because I already know how this is going to go. But let's see what information they're not going to give up today. Public information. So we're looking for information from the day that they took the woman in handcuffs. I got to find that case number. Give me just a second here. I'll be finding it momentarily. Yeah, Garden City. A town population of 250 people. Interesting. Oh. We're going to have a dead battery. We got to go back and get the charger. Hang tight. How come they use their sirens and lights? And they're not even going half as fast as that stupid cop was that just pulled out of here. Okay, hang tight. Well, they're not going far. Guess they just turned all their lights and sirens off after they turned the corner down there. Well, let's go check this out first. Because I need a read and break. And no better place to take it than the lobby of a police department. Hold on, I want to see what is going on down there. There's a lot of sirens over here because there's a hospital here. Terri, how you doing? I'm doing all right. Long time no see. How you been?
I'm here.
Love those nails.
Thank you.
Pretty. So I need to know if I can get some information.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know pretty much how this is already going to go, but I want to know how much is publicly available for this case number that David Hume presented me with.
Officer Hume?
Yep, the other day
Okay.
for a woman that they put in handcuffs and drove away and wouldn't tell me what they were doing.
Okay.
I gotta find it. I'm sorry. There it is. 2405395.
Check it out, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you, Terri. So, yeah, Terry's awesome. But listen, I'm going to leave this right here. And I'm going to have to go take a break because you guys will throw a fit if I take you into the bathroom with me. So, hang tight, okay? And so if somebody comes and steals my phone, you can tell me who it was. Okay, I'm back. Bokomo, your turn too, huh? So we're at the Englewood PD. We're trying to see if there's any public information available on this particular case that I just described to you, where the woman,
Yeah, they took her on a warrant arrest.
they took her on a warrant.
Yeah.
And he couldn't tell me that on the spot?
Yeah, they took her for a warrant, but they also, I think the initial stopping her was, I think, disorderly conduct.
He wrote indecent exposure on the back of the card.
Really?
So are there, okay, so were there new charges?
No, they just took her on a warrant.
They just took her on the warrant.
You want the report?
Yeah, I want everything that's available on that
Okay.
publicly.
I'll see if there's any photos. I don't think there are any.
Okay.
Hang on.
I appreciate it. Are you now officially the manager
No,
of?
someone now.
Oh, why isn't it you?
No.
You didn't want it?
No.
Oh, why? They need you. That was a lot of mess to clean up. That's why you didn't take it. I'm not gonna say I blame you for that one. But you're damn good at your job, so they obviously probably didn't want to pay you what you were worth either, so there's that.
All right, I'm just gonna have you pull this out real quick.
All right, thank you.
I'll get that report for you, okay?
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she's the bomb. She knows her shit. And she's efficient, and she's polite, and to the point when she needs to be, and let's see. I'm just filling out this records request. And of course, I have to pay $5 for public information. I'm getting an offense incident report. I'm also going to see if she's got time to look up yesterday's debacle that I had published today. Thanks for hanging, you guys. I'm just filling out this records request. We're waiting for Terri to give us that report. She's probably redacting it on the spot, which she doesn't have to do that. By law, she has 3 days to produce that. She doesn't have to give me this stuff on the spot. That's all in the law. So she's going above and beyond. I mean, she has time. A storm? Do we have a storm blowing in? I don't know. The wind is blowing though, DJ. I don't know. Oh, hey, Modern Retro Radio. Well, right at the moment, there's some positivity going on here with the records clerk, Terri. She's getting me some public information, and she's really good at her job, but she didn't want the director position, which I thought she was going to take that. I don't know who is now the director of records, but their other person retired. She's been here since 1932. I'll send you $100 if you smoke a shard on stream. Cat-faced enthusiast. Well, that's an interesting comment. I take it you're new here. Hey, Gloria Ad, how are you? Thanks for being in the premiere earlier today, and thanks for all those super chats. That was much appreciated. Very kind of you. Yeah, Bokomo, so that Garden City is around Greeley in Weld County. I mean, like, they need another city with crop.
I didn't look, there's no photos or anything to the case, but you know how the body cam goes.
Yeah, I'm not getting body cam footage. I got my own camera footage. But you know what, before I finish this, do you have time to possibly look up another case from yesterday? I don't have the case number, but it happened in the afternoon with Officer Watts, and it was a use of force case with a taser situation over by Swedish Hospital yesterday, the 8th. And I don't know if he was the reporting officer or what, but
You know who was involved?
him and Cox, and I don't know. I thought it was Jessen. I mean,
You know who
Joel Jose was even out there.
who was it pertaining? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. It was just one subject. I think it was a traffic stop
Okay. Where was it?
off of Washington. I can give you. Does a time matter?
Yeah, that can help you out.
Time helps. It was.
See, off of Washington?
Yeah, off of Washington. Read it about between 2 and 2:15. Probably between 2 and 2:30. I started recording it at 2:30.
It's just Washington is another street. Is it just Washington?
I don't know, Terry. Washington. Let's look it up. Yeah, it'd be South Washington Street. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it again. Okay, so she's going to check into yesterday's stuff. And I don't know if you caught her comment about body cam footage. Yeah, because I've been going rounds with this shithole about their body cam footage. And they don't know the laws. They're not following the laws. They're using workarounds in the law to not release body cam footage. So yeah, that's Englewood's MO right now. And that's really coming from the top. And that's Sam Watson. And so since he's announced his retirement, I hope he takes his entire command staff with him at this point. And they just clean house and not replace anybody. That would be a dream come true, wouldn't it? And let the citizens run the police department like it should be ran. I think we could probably handle that, don't you? Wanda, Brownsburg issued a warrant for my arrest. Can you spread that around? Well, you're spreading it here, but I mean, this is my channel. I don't know what you got going on. I can't pick up everybody's issues all the time. I get warrants issued for me all the time too. I mean, I got my own baggage, girlfriend. So, just saying. If you're gonna be in this game, they're gonna try to take you down. Hey, Direct T, what's going on? Okay, so yeah, I'm asking about yesterday's case. We'll see. She's given me some case report information from the other case that I asked her about. From the woman that they put in handcuffs. So she had a warrant, so of course they took her in on that. But at least they didn't put any new charges on her, so that I know. I don't know if her name's going to be on there. I think it better be. That's not redactable. So I guess I could look her up and see if she's in the jail. But see, you know, the thing with going down these rabbit holes, that's all great. You get all this information, and even in today's stream, when y'all said, I hope you follow up with that. Well, what do you want me to do? I mean, honestly, it's a genuine question. What do you want me to do? Prove that it was excessive use of force? Okay, so what? I mean, we know this shit. Go to city council again and put it on the record, only to just have them stare at me? I mean, what do I say? Hey, Gloria, wow, that's nice of you. Thank you very much for the record. Covering the record's cost. So far, it's only $5. It'll probably end up being 10 if I get the second report, so that's much appreciated. I mean, there's a lot of going down the rabbit hole shit you can do, but to what end, I guess? I want these cops on camera as often as I can possibly get them on camera at this point. And when you are recording, you are potentially saving a life. It's just the bottom line. So if that's my way to help the homeless or help the community, I think that's kind of where I'm just having to draw the line. Now there's Dirk Smith. He's another problem cop over here. That guy needs to pack his bags and leave. He's been involved in several fatal shootings. He shot and killed the son of Kimberly Mitchell. He was out on this call also the other day with the woman who had her shirt off, and he managed to keep his mouth shut with me, not be a dick face, and not escalate the situation, not try to engage me in bullshit banter because he thinks he's superior, because he's 7 feet tall. The guy, he doesn't go to court when he's been subpoenaed in cases that he's involved in. Y'all remember Jerry? He charged Jerry, and I was taking Jerry to court, and they were supposed to have a motions hearing, and this jackwagon just deliberately ignored his subpoena. He acknowledged service and just didn't bother showing up to court. He did the same thing in the case where he shot and killed Kimberly Mitchell's son. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, it's just like treading water, right? I mean, are we really going to change these things? I don't know. I'm guessing not. We're just going to get out there and record and post it to the internet and just keep doing the same shit. And then, you know, one of us will end up dead or severely beaten like Carolina. And then we'll all rally for a few weeks and go, okay, well, you know, short-term memory application. This is not going to fix these issues. And so strapping myself with additional tasks and things to do just to expose this stuff, I'm tired. I've been doing this for a long time. It isn't like I just picked up the camera, you know, a few months ago. been at this for 15 freaking years, and I'm getting old. So where are the rest of the young'uns that can come out here with a brain? And not an agenda to become a YouTube star. That's what I want to know. I'm not gonna be married to YouTube. I refuse to do it. Number one, I got way too many other things that need my attention in my life. I am not married to trying to bolster my life at the young age of 50-something on YouTube. And so I would just like to see more people getting active. I mean, literally nobody is cop watching in Colorado. Nobody. It's dangerous to do it by yourself, but then you hook up with idiots that go out there and make it worse. I don't want to have to do a cop watching 101, here's what you should and shouldn't do thing, but I guess, you know, if we're there, yeah, I mean, come on out, but don't come out with this attitude that you're going to become a YouTube star and, you know, drum up a lawsuit against government. Nasty Nathaniel, what's going on? I appreciate hearing that. Thank you. I'm not that amazing. I have some amazing people in my life that make what I do amazing. I care about people, compassion. I'm not going to back down when it's the right thing to do. You know, stuff like that. Jamil, hello. Oh, SV. Yeah, I follow the Chili Saga somewhat. That's another thing. You know, I'm not going to use my channel to promote something and someone that I don't have all of that much of a vested interest in. But yeah, I mean, I've been following it. Should he be in jail? Absolutely not.
Sure, it was not Washington. I think he was talking about Corona. He may have been off a hand in Corona.
Well, it ended up, maybe that's where it initiated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only one I see with the deployment of like a
Taser, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the one.
Was in custody.
Okay.
The guy.
Right?
Yeah. Got arrested and still haven't gone to court yet.
Still hasn't gone to court. What's releasable on that then?
That one right there, nothing until he actually finished the court. You can go to Arapahoe County. Arapahoe County can release whatever they need there.
So I'd have to go to the DA to get a probable
Yeah.
arrest warrant affidavit. Why can't I get that here?
I'm here to get a copy of a police report.
Hasn't gone to
Sure.
Still an
it's
active report?
EPD
Yeah.
So they're
24
just busy drumming up charges?
03839.
I want that kid's name.
Yes, my name's Thomas DeMolin.
I want that
Yeah, I
kid's
do.
name.
Huh?
I want that kid's name. He wasn't a minor, was he? Yep, so that kid's still sitting in jail from yesterday. They're working the report, so nothing's releasable.
Thank you.
He still hasn't gone to court. So now he's been sitting in jail for 24 hours. With no charges. It's because they screwed that up big time, and they know it. So now they're figuring out how they're gonna cover up that mistake. That was excessive force.
So no, he wasn't an adult.
He's an adult.
Yeah.
So why can't his name be released?
Because it's still active case. He's considered a suspect.
No official charges.
I'm sorry?
No official charges.
Yeah, they served him a citation, and then I don't think they didn't arrest him, but they served him a citation. That's why it looks like an arrest. Anytime you get served with citation, it's considered an arrest.
Right. But he's in jail.
Is he?
He's not?
I don't see anything about him going to jail. Hang on.
Uh-huh. Okay, maybe we have this wrong. He's not in jail. So they brought him over here because they drove him away. So they brought him here and they released him. Put his car, impounded his car. Yep, this is a big old screw up. I didn't even have anything to take him to jail on. He had expired tags. That was the reason for the traffic stop. That's it. And that kid was making it very clear. All I did was ask for a sergeant. I'm just trying to talk to you guys, as they're ripping the tasers out of him. That was a case of excessive force. Well, at the very least, we're gonna leave with a case number. Well, I have that case number. It's at home. Well, he went to the hospital. So, did they take him into custody from there?
Yeah.
He is in
Yes, he
jail.
was.
Yeah, because they took him in the ambulance.
Yeah, he took him in. I didn't read the report, but I just looked at the narrative just now, and he did actually take him in.
So I can't even get a name.
Nope,
I mean, if he was charged with a traffic citation, why can't I get a name?
he was arrested, still considered a suspect, and because of the case open, that's why.
The public really wants to know.
Yeah.
We have a right
Go
to know.
Franklin County. They may release a certain amount to you.
Yeah, do you know what it's like getting information from the DA's office out there? It's a
It is.
disaster.
Thank you.
Well, let me pay you for that one then, at least.
Gotcha.
And we have to go in person, and that takes half a day.
Sure.
And then you're not even going
Okay.
to get it while you're there.
Thank
This
you.
is the same DA's office that gave me my discovery on a CD-ROM that you have to go pick up.
Let me get that from you.
Oh, duh. Sorry, Terry.
Thank you. It don't matter, staple, clip.
No, don't worry about any of that.
All right.
Thanks, Terry.
You're welcome.
Good to see you.
See you too. Have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go read this here. Yeah, Arapahoe County is a pain in the ass. They're so stuck in the late 80s on technology and handling stuff. So let's read this report here while we're here. Okay. So there were 1, 2, 3. Oh. What? Why are there so many cops on this? There were not that many cops there. What do you mean she wasn't charged, Terry? Yes, she was. She was charged with disorderly conduct and throwing missiles at vehicles. I told them that nobody else said they were a victim of that. Okay, so we've got her name. She's my age. Yeah, she was charged. Okay, so here's an incident report. This is written by Officer Hume. On 6/26/1710, I was dispatched to an indecent exposure near the intersection of Inca and Hampton. The reporting party stated the subject was standing in the middle of the intersection and exposing her breast. Upon arrival in the area, EPD dispatch updated that she was a block north from there, throwing rocks at vehicles, wearing a black shirt with blonde hair, and appeared she was in her 50s. When I arrived in the area of the Civic Center, a citizen, later identified as Regan Benson, refused date of birth, pointed towards the RTD bus area and said she might be the problem. No, that's not what I said. As I walked towards the RTD bus area, a security guard waved me over. The security guard identified himself verbally as so-and-so and pointed to the female wearing a black shirt with blonde hair, blah, blah, blah. The female later identified verbally as Jennifer, blah, blah, was talking very quickly as she kept walking circles in an agitated demeanor. She began naming people who were killed, pointing to a stranger standing approximately 20 feet from us, and demanded we get him out of here, and naming dead people while pointing to tattoos on her arms. She then became irate at Benson for filming the encounter, and I had to position myself in between them to keep her from possibly assaulting Benson. That was really nice, David. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Given that she hadn't assaulted me up to that point, I don't think she was going to, but I really appreciate a man recognizing the situation and acting like a man. That's cool. I cleared her through dispatch, and they advised she had an extraditable warrant. She had extraditable warrants. Due to her demeanor, I requested a CIT co-responder and could not allow her to be alone, as it was evident she could not care for herself and is a danger to herself and others after throwing rocks at vehicles. I spoke to Benson, who stated she witnessed her at King Soopers approximately an hour before and gave her a bottle of water, and it appeared to help. Benson stated that she was, prior to this call, near the intersection of Inca and Hampton, throwing traffic cones at cars, and people were getting out of their cars, threatening to beat her up. I placed handcuffs on her. That was that's who that was. That was Jean Mulder out there. Officer Mulder transported her to speak with the CIT co-responder and take her to the hospital. Interesting. So did they take her to the hospital? This report is written from my recollection of events. This written report is not intended to be interpreted to be a verbatim account of the incident documented. This is a disclaimer that they put at the bottom of the reports now. My department-issued body-worn camera was recording at the time of this incident in accordance with Englewood Police Department policy number 347. The existence of body-worn camera video is documented in the written report, and such video may contain details and or statements that were not reflected in the written report. They had to put a disclaimer about wearing body cameras because they can't write reports without referring back to their body cameras. Okay, so who wrote this report? I, Officer Jean Mulder. Hi, Officer Mulder. Responded to the area of Inca and 285, reported the female subject exposing herself en route. Dispatch updated that she was north of the intersection throwing rocks at vehicles. The female was described as blah, blah, blah. The female was located at blah, blah, blah. I arrived. Look at this fucking bitch. This fucking cop. Listen to this. Listen to this shit. Jean Mulder. When I arrived, so-and-so, her name, the homeless woman, was yelling at known local self-proclaimed First Amendment auditor, Regan Benson, because she did not want to be recorded. She walked up to me. The cop is writing this. She walked up to me and asked me to take her away from Benson. She said she has anxiety and is having a panic attack. This fucking cop, this bitch, she's a fucking liar. Note that name. This isn't the first thing she's involved in. Lewis got into my marked patrol vehicle. Oh, you forgot the part, Mulder, where you put her in handcuffs up against a pole? Why'd you put her in handcuffs if you were just getting her away from Benson? Lewis got into my marked patrol vehicle, and we met co-responder Melissa in the RTD parking lot a block north, away from Benson. Meanwhile, dispatch advised her that she had an active warrant out of Adams County. This fucking Mulder bitch, I'm telling you what, this fucking bitch, I'm done. Let's see how long it's gonna take them to throw this complaint in the trash. Hey Terry, sorry to bug you again. When I file complaints, they ignore them. So she has an active warrant out of Adams County for controlled substance. I'm sorry, you know what, I'm reading this report and I just realized I'm gonna need to file a complaint on an officer. So, I don't know if you would like to call someone. Yeah, take my complaint.
Contact with PSB, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
So Terry is going to call. Then she goes on to say that I brought so-and-so to Swedish Medical Center for a medical clearance. Where once cleared. Officer Morrison picked her up and transferred her to the Adams Jail, Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. I'm assuming that's ACSO, Arapahoe County, but she had a warrant out of Adams. So we're gonna file a complaint and see how that goes. We'll see who they're gonna send down here. We'll see who's now in charge of internal affairs. And I'm only doing this because I'm here. The last, I don't know, 3, 4 complaints that have been filed with them over the past year and a half, not even acknowledged. Nothing. Previous complaints, when they beat the shit out of Nicole, when Nicole filed a complaint, when I was here with her, no response. Robert, when we were here with Robert and he filed his complaint, no response. The day I was in here to file a complaint about Shaw, Griffin, whatever his name is, Griffin, blah, blah, No response. They're not going to respond to this one either. Any bets? This is a lie. So number one complaint is dishonesty here. I didn't know who that blonde-haired bitch was out there. I wondered. Yeah, that's Jean Mulder. She's a new cop here. And she's got girl power. You know, girl power.
Hang out in the lobby and they'll
Hang
try to
out?
get someone down for you, okay?
What would be the structure of the Internal Affairs Department nowadays?
Same people.
The same people.
Yep. You have Officer Thuente, and then you have Officer Grissom.
Sergeants? There's no sergeants in IA anymore? Just Disner and all by himself? That scumbag? All right, cool. We'll see how this goes. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate it. And they just have regular old cops in internal affairs with the same old Sergeant Disner, that fucking loser. Remember him? Yeah. So I'm just supposed to hang out here and wait. They'll send somebody. But I am gonna go to my car for a minute. Let's go do that for just a second. Maybe not. We'll see how long this is gonna take. They'll make sure it takes just long enough for me to leave. Hang on. So we're gonna file a complaint on Jean Mulder. She's lying. And is this proper arrest procedure? Is to go drive arrestees around to get them away from the camera? Well, guess what? That's a violation of the law, of my right to record interactions with the police. So you took an arrestee and you drove them somewhere else? And you interrogated them? Interesting. That is exactly why Jean Mulder showed up in a super quick hurry and slammed those cuffs on and escorted that little lady right over into her vehicle, because she thinks she's building a case. I wonder if that was her that day that came into Swedish as well. That Saturday when I met with little Joe in the lobby. Interesting. See, this cop, I mean, as you can imagine, by now, if you haven't already picked up on the vibes, she's got a little problem with me. She is the reason, all of the reasons, why women shouldn't be cops. And I'm even a woman. She's an emotional individual that can't do her job without paying attention to her emotions first. So we're gonna hang out. We're just gonna wait for somebody. Just looking at my phone here for just a minute. Hey Irish, sorry about that, thank you.
Hello, Officer Rocha with Littleton Police Department. They requested me to come over here, Spanish speaking officer.
Do you know who requested you?
They just said headquarters is,
Dispatch?
yeah,
Okay. From Littleton, right?
yes.
Yeah. I'll let him know.
Do you have a card on you by
Card?
chance?
Yes, ma'am.
May I have one?
Yes, of course.
I brought you all the way from Littleton to interpret? Right on, thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, I thought that was you, Officer Rocha. That is you. Do you all remember Officer Rocha? Yeah, he and Luke Bouchard illegally detained me in King Soopers a few years ago. Oh, see, it's never a boring live stream. Do you remember that, Officer Rocha? He walked away. Oh, you guys, so yeah, that video is on my channel. You guys remember that story? When I was a member of that shithole Planet Fitness. So I go in there to work out on a Sunday, and I'm like, there's like 3 people total in the whole place, right? I work out, I do my thing, and now he's on the phone. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be. He's here to interpret. All this stupid shit. Okay. Here. Okay, they're gonna go meet in private. Okay, so remember that story? A few years back, 3-4 years ago, I go work out and I leave. Just mind my own business, doing my own thing. Everything's great. Nobody really talks to me. I don't talk to anybody. And King Soopers is right next door. Well, the Planet Fitness is in Englewood. There's this jurisdiction line right there. The Planet Fitness is in Littleton, and the King Soopers that I'm about to go get my groceries in is in Englewood. So I work out and I go to the grocery store. By now, Planet Fitness is closed, right? I've been in this grocery store for a good hour. Had a full cart of groceries, and when I left the Planet Fitness, I saw Littleton PD out in the parking lot. And it just looked like they were talking to somebody in a vehicle. And so I thought, well, probably not worth recording, and I'm busy, and I'm hungry, and I need to go get my groceries. So I go over to get my groceries. Pushing my cart, and I see these 2 cops walk in, these 2 Littleton cops, and one looks at me, and I just kept pushing my cart, and I'm thinking to myself, as I always do, what the fuck are they doing in here? Don't interrupt my fucking grocery shopping with having to see your stupid asses. I'm pushing my cart. And I turn a corner, and there they are, standing right in front of me. He and Luke Bouchard, Mr. Luke Bouchard, right? Mr. Roid Rager, power control fucking freak is what he is. So they're like, Luke Bouchard grabs my cart, He's like, ma'am, we need you to stay here. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of my way. Englewood PD literally has to call an officer from Littleton to translate. You know, there's stuff on your phones, too, you can use, dipshits. Oh, that's right. They're interrogating somebody back there is what's going on. So these two tell me that they need to investigate something. And that I can't leave. Bokomo, can you put that video up in here? Hey, Fat Daddy, what's going on? Surprised they let you in the building? Me? No. I can come in here. Let me go find the title of that video. I don't know if you can search it, Bokomo. But people need to watch that. If you're new here and you've never seen that video, you gotta watch that. Because ultimately, these two idiots accuse me of committing burglary. Because some dumb broad over at the Planet Fitness didn't lock her shit up in the locker room, and criminals were watching. They watch workout places a lot. This girl goes there. This thief walks in 2 minutes behind her, goes and takes everything out of her locker and leaves. And this girl works out and reports to the cops that I was the one. I was the only one in the club, and I was the only one that could have done it. Right? The thief had gone in that building, taken everything out of that locker, and was gone before I even got to Planet Fitness. And instead of checking cameras, the cops went ahead and acted on the hunches of the staff over at Planet Fitness that released all of my information to them. Needless to say, besides the obvious of why Planet Fitness should burn to the ground, yeah, don't ever go to Planet Fitness. And I went on a little bit of an anti-Planet Fitness campaign for a little while. It worked pretty good. And then they continued to burn themselves. They'll be gone soon. That's how it works in the private market, right? Not government. That place would be 8 times its size if it were government funded. So anyway, yeah. So they went ahead and told the cops, oh, here's who you're looking for. Gave them my picture. All my information. No warrant, no nothing. They didn't even call any franchise owner, nothing. They just went ahead and turned over all my personal information to these 2 freak cops. And for whatever reason, I guess they decided to come over to King Soopers and look for me. And they saw me. And in this video, they say, well, we didn't think you'd be here. Or we didn't know you would be here. And he was one of them. Oh, that began my love affair with the Littleton PD. And there's some great videos from that internal affairs complaint and lack of investigation and a commander retiring. Yeah, good stuff. Super good stuff. How long is it going to take for somebody to come take a complaint? It's 2 o'clock. No, dude, I'm not doing it. My wife just called. She's really sick. I gotta leave. Well, dude, I told you I had a doctor's appointment last week. I'm out of here. God bless Trump. Who wants to indemnify all these dumb mofos. Yeah, remember what commander was his name? Commander, what's his bucket over there at Littleton? He ended up retiring. He's an idiot. He's standing out in the lobby recording. At the time, it was me and that dumbass Mexican long hair. The guy who goes on the fraud channels as well and talks shit about me. Yeah, that fucking idiot. So we were over at Littleton, and this guy, this commander, what the hell was his name? Bokomo, Irish, do you remember? Commander, what's his name? There's a great video on that. Cooper, Commander Cooper. Commander Cooper comes out and he's filming us. And I'm talking and I'm trying to do business at the window and he goes, "Are you leaving yet?" And I said, "No, you are." "Oh, I am? Well, okay." The Commander Cooper video is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this Jean Mulder, she's been here since like 21, and she's a really, really shitty cop over here. And so I'm just currently waiting to file a complaint on her based on this report that I just read. So Denver did this not too long ago, and I've got video of this as well. And I actually think Denver Metro Audits is making this up into a good video. I told them to get it out there because it's important. It's the topic of avoiding the camera. So this stupid cop here is claiming that she had to drive this woman who's having some kind of mental health issue. She had to drive her to a vacant RTD lot to have the co-responder, Melissa, who is the full-time employee now of the police department, who is supposed to be doing homeless case management, to have the co-responder, Melissa, in the RTD parking lot a block north away. So I was halfway right, David Hume. I asked you, I said, "What are you guys gonna do? Drive her around the corner and drop her off?" "No, we're just gonna drive her around the corner and hide out of sight so the public can't see what we're doing while we don't follow our arrest policies and procedures." So speaking of that, I'm walking up and down South Broadway in Denver, and I'm looking for Phil, and I come across these Denver cops. And this is all on the public sidewalk in front of a business. The summary of what went down is this dude, I don't know if he was homeless or not, was being confronted by 3 cops. And so I'm on the sidewalk recording. And they detain him and they're gonna press charges because apparently, allegedly, he etched into the glass door of this business with a rock. I don't know. And so they put him in the vehicle and they're all standing on the sidewalk. So I start asking them some questions. Number 1, I give them my card and I said, "I'm looking for Phil." I said, "I need him because I gotta get him in a motel now because he's got housing that we're trying to get going." And one of those cops immediately gets stupid with me and gets smart with me. And then the other 2, there were 5 total. And then a couple others join in and they want to get stupid and they end up going and getting in their cars. And then I went and got in my car and now everybody's in their cars. So we've got, 1 cop car left. So we've got 2 cop cars parked on the street with all the cops in the cop car. I'm in my car and they're just sitting there. They're just sitting there, not doing anything, not leaving to take this guy to jail, nothing. So I sit there as well. And mind you, he's under arrest. And so I guess they decide to leave with him. But I happen to notice that the direction they go.
Hi there. I need to drop off this statement for Officer Volume, I think.
The direction they go
could give me some direction
is not the direction to the jail.
Property,
It's actually into a neighborhood
whatever it's called, that department.
that I'm familiar with. that has a
No, ma'am.
lot
I was
of
just-
dead ends
my
and deep
victim's
little dark
statement,
spaces.
And they
So-
can come take up some of my property. that they took.
Let's move back over to the table. How long have we been waiting? Is anybody keeping track? It's been a good 20 minutes, right? We've been waiting 20 minutes? World War Werewolf. Yeah, send me an email. It's Regan@helpinghandsfordignity.org. Or there's another email in my About section. It's communityforumsforus@gmail.com. But yeah, it's in there. Send me an email. Bokomo, you find all the updates, what, to the King Soopers debacle? Shoot, I'll have to... Let me look here for just a second. Yeah, that original video went very viral. And I let some other agency pick it up, and then it was all over social media. Hold on, give me just a minute. Let's look for it here. I had to have had Commander Cooper's name in there. If you search Commander Cooper, yeah, here it is. I guess this is only going on 3 years. The title of the video, if you just go to my channel and search Meet Commander Cooper from Littleton, Colorado PD. Property. I should just come here and hang out all day. Just watch in the public lobby. Yeah, meet Commander Cooper from Littleton. That's a good one. That's a quick watch. And then, oh, okay. Here it is. I did a little 4-minute video of it. Yeah, this one's a little over 3 years. It's titled Moron, Littleton, Colorado Cops Detain Me in the Grocery Store. They don't let you check the stuff before they walk away, huh? They don't let you check your stuff, make sure it's all there and not broke. It's broke.
It's all covered in blood too, so not something I'm trying to keep anyways.
Oh, it's Matthew. Hi. You know, you didn't follow up with me on the last complaint I made. Why didn't you follow up with me on the last complaint I made?
Your last complaint. I believe the last time I talked to you, that complaint was unfounded. There was no policy violation. There was no policy regarding what we were talking about on that one.
How come you didn't send that to me then?
I probably just got busy, honestly. So what can I help you
You
with today?
just got busy and you couldn't follow up with the complaint?
What can I help
And
you
you're
with
here today to take another complaint?
I sure am. What's your complaint today?
You think I'm gonna file a complaint with you? You get busy?
wanna
No,
file a complaint
no,
with
hold
me?
on, we're not done. You get
You either wanna
busy,
file a
so
complaint
you
with me
don't,
today or
you
you
don't
don't.
respond to complaints because you got busy and you're here to take another complaint?
You're right. So I shouldn't try to be honest and personable with you. Is that what you're telling me?
So I'm telling you that you don't know how to do your fucking job.
You like to tell all
And
of us
so
that.
you're back here to take another complaint that you're not gonna do your job for. Is that how
If
this
that's
is
your
gonna go?
opinion. if that's your opinion, I don't think I
What's
can
your last name? Are you Matthew Stanley?
I am not Matthew Stanley. I'm Mr. Tinty.
And you didn't give me a card last time either.
Yeah,
And you
I don't
didn't
think I
follow
have
up
your
with the email that you said you were going to send me to get the rest of the complaint. You didn't even investigate the complaint. And now you're going to stand here and
I'm
tell me
not
that it was
investigating my own
unfounded?
opinion.
So you're not being honest anyway. So go get
Can
somebody
I
else
take
to
the
take my
complaint?
complaint.
You can talk to me today, or
No,
can
you
come
can
back
go
another
get
day.
somebody
There's
else to take my
no one else
complaint.
available today, Miss Benson.
So they send the fucking liar out here to take my complaint,
Have a
who
good
doesn't
day.
do his fucking job? Get somebody else out here to take my complaint. You didn't fucking follow up with the last one. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, please. Are you kidding me? How long have you been dealing with ENGLEWOOD PD? You're the dude here to collect your stuff? Why? You ain't catching no flies. Listen to me. You ain't catching no flies with pure shit here. You ain't catching flies with shit here.
You could have had a genuine conversation with him, but instead you chose to escalate, and he was quite right to walk away.
Is this your first time getting arrested and dealing with the cops?
I haven't been arrested. No, I was assaulted. Man.
You were assaulted. Oh, so you're a bootlicker. So you like the cops. You think they do a good
No,
job.
I think that they're actually quite in need of some reform, but this is a person-to-person thing. You could have had a genuine conversation with him instead of...
Do you know how many genuine conversations I've already had with him?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, there you go.
She'll be right out to talk to you, okay?
Okay,
I think it's
thank you
fine.
very much.
Get everything they need,
Okay,
but
awesome.
she's gonna come out.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I'm sorry you got assaulted. Isn't it always interesting that the cops are never in the right place at the right time?
Feels like you don't really care, actually.
No, actually, I do. I care deeply about people.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
The fanny pack itself is being kept reference, so everything else that they took out of it was.
That's what it looked like at one point that figuring out that would be.
Yeah, because I saw on the report itself was a fanny pack, and then the actual list of evidence, it had the fanny pack listed and then that stuff separate. So, and that stuff separate was interesting.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Not so tough, is it?
What? What's tough? That they don't have the rest of your shit? I mean, they didn't even give you all your stuff back, dude.
Yeah, well, part of it was covered in blood, and
Oh, so they just threw it away.
No, they're keeping it for evidence.
Sure they are.
No.
Yeah.
You're a very sad man.
Well, you're just a fucking moron. Oh my god, this fucking place. What a joke. We should just hang out here in the lobby. That's the same fucking idiot that they sent out here last time. Did you hear him? I just didn't have time. And that complaint was unfounded. There was no policy violation. Except we sat here and he said he was going to email me so I could send him the rest of the stuff for the complaint. Oh, this fucking place. And they wonder why they got to be on camera. Hey, be safe, dude. Yeah, be safe. Don't get assaulted again. Dude, you got to toughen up. Don't let people beat the shit out of you. Don't let people beat the shit out of you. Because then you won't need the cops. You got to defend yourself, dude. Don't go get all fucked up. Fuck you. Fuck you. He's over there screaming, telling me to go to church. Oh, we can go to the church and fuck you. This place. Yeah, if you need a cop, good luck. That's why your shit was covered in blood, dude. Oh, for fuck's sake. Who's driving the Beamer? They send that dumb motherfucker out here to take that complaint. They did it on purpose. Yeah, fuck you, Englewood. That's why we'll just keep exposing you. Because you can't handle your shit. Oh, I forgot to say goodbye to Terry. Damn it. There you go. The investigate ourselves team. There was no policy violation. We didn't even do the investigation. We just already know. Fucking idiots. Yeah, there's video of that interaction from last time where that idiot comes out, takes the complaint, doesn't give me a card, doesn't give me shit, tells me he's going to email me, takes my email. There's a reason that fucking moron is assigned to IA, because that's where they put the absolute most worthless idiots in the entire department, because they know they're not needed. They can't, that guy is so stupid, they know that if they send him out on the street, he's going to kill somebody. And they might know that. I mean, Englewood is that bad that if you're working in internal affairs, you are a royal, total fuck up. And especially if you're the Sergeant Disner. Because there was never any intention for an internal affairs department to work here, ever. They have investigated and cleared themselves for years in Englewood. For years and years and years. And they're going to keep it that way. So let's hope, I mean, the only hope here, and not that it even matters, the only hope here is that Watson and his entire command staff leave. Oh wait, hold on, we got some more cops. We got lots of badges. They're all giggling, they just heard what happened. There she is. Hee hee ha ha. You better just keep on moving before I get out and start recording your stupid asses too. Start collecting more names. That was kind of fun. So we got to see Rocha. Rocha went off and hid. That idiot's name, we need to look this idiot up now. Because I've got his name. He wouldn't give me his name last time and he wouldn't give me a card. So let's take a look here. Hang tight. Matthew Thuente. Matthew Twinkletoes is his name. Hang on. Oh, he's a pretty boy. He is not on this database. Yeah, there he is. Matthew Thuente. We got a lot of people walking by. Tupac. I like that dude's shirt. He's wearing a Tupac shirt. He's dressed interestingly. Black bandana hanging out his pocket. So Matthew Thuente, spelled Thuente. Yeah, he's been over here since 2015. That dude's an idiot. So not only does Watson and his entire command staff need to go, so does the entire IA department. Just eliminate it. I mean, you guys, you don't do anything anyway. These are worthless positions. Just get rid of them and don't fill them. And then Ed Disner, he's the sergeant here. He's been here since '02. Makes 122 grand a year. So anyway, Matthew Thuente, diversity hire. No, it's Thuente. Thuente. And he's just a police officer. At least over in Denver, they put some sergeants in internal affairs that at least have some basic skills of how to bullshit people. These guys, they can't even bullshit you. Yeah. He's not the only one that didn't investigate a complaint. Like I said, I listed off all those complaints. They don't. They just don't. They don't even investigate. That's why I encourage everyone, listen, if you've got a complaint that involves loss of liberty or life over here in Englewood, you have got to file that with the Attorney General of the state of Colorado. That's all we got. They're going to have to show a pattern that Englewood is out of control. And unfortunately, they don't care because there's not enough law in a local control state, as Colorado is. There's not enough law that says police departments have to have policies and they have to follow their policies. Okay? They don't have to have a single policy over here. They could just do whatever the hell they want. Now, they're going to have to not break the law, right? So however they design those policies and procedures, fine. They know they're a fucking mess over here. They know it. And they have a plethora of policy and procedure violations. They have law violations as well, but it's just a matter of people pursuing that and how to properly pursue those avenues. And I'm telling you folks, if you've had dealings in Englewood where you've had cases dismissed, they were excessive force cases, again, loss of liberty and life, property as well, you've got to file with the state, Colorado State Attorney General. And it's a big, long, lengthy online thing, but you got to do it. You absolutely got to do it. Oh, we got a chick. We got a chick cop driving the BMW. She's getting in it now. There she goes. Englewood's doing some kind of mass training today. Hey, everybody, come to Englewood where you learn how to be the best cop you can possibly be. Englewood. David, how are ya? I was super nice to Matthew when I took the time to sit here and file a complaint. I'm not going to give you another fucking chance. You and your coworkers already are behind the 8 ball. And I still come back and give you a fucking chance. And you send that douchebag out to talk to me? Who the fuck sent that guy out there to talk to me? Oh, was that you, Sam? Was that you, Dave LeClaire? Were you hoping you could get me hemmed up on some other kind of charge? Disorderly? Send the fucking complete moron out there, because then Regan will cuss him out, and then we can get her on disorderly, because we've already drummed up one other case on her with one of our dirty fucking cops. This place, I'm telling you, you guys, you gotta record. You gotta record, because if you don't have it on video, it's your word against theirs. Record all of your interactions. And it's funny how this stream started out, isn't it? Let's wrap this up. We talked to Officer Groves. Was that his name? What the hell's his name? The older guy, right from the get-go. We've talked to him before out here when David Hume was actually chasing that guy that stole a car, that allegedly stole the car, and he ran across those people's yards, and I got caught in the middle of all these cops driving like complete idiots with no lights or sirens. Remember that day? And I pulled over and recorded all that. So that guy talked to us for a little while. He's an okay dude. I don't know what kind of cop he is. Like I said, if he was told to arrest me and shoot me between the eyes, he'd do it. So there you go. But if you want to be nice, I'll be nice to you. We can have some cordial conversation and you can look all nice on camera. But I know who you work for and what you're about. So it's pretty simple, right? But that's how that stream started out. And this is how it ended. With the true colors of the Englewood Police Department. Steven, if you're new to this channel, no, I have no filter. And that's why I'm just not a YouTube star. My mods are probably sick of this stream. I'm sorry, you guys. Michael D. Fiore, love you. Hey, thanks. I need the love, but I need more cameras and I need more people holding this place accountable. There's a reason I'm here. They've displayed a pattern and practice for a lot of years. The citizens of Englewood, some of them care, some of them are scared to death, some of them are fucking clueless and they want to get more cops. But the bottom line is, this police department has done a lot of damage. They've destroyed a lot of lives. They have hindered progress for me to do my work effectively with the homeless community, and they continue to bash them and drag them through hell simply for trying to survive. This place is a bad place. It's a bad place, and I'm glad we took a journey in there today to see how that was going to go. As always, Terry's phenomenal records. I got a lot more than I thought I was going to get, a lot more information. So that was good. Thanks to the records clerk only, because if you left it up to the idiot cops, they wouldn't even know how to use the printer. So, Jane, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Actions speak louder than words. Amen, they do. World War Werewolf. I'll email you back. I'll take a look at that. Sometimes in defense of justice, you have no choice but to ditch the diplomacy and come out swinging. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Minus the physical and the threatening part and, you know, calling for violence. That is everything we advocate against. But, you know, unfortunately, I just, you know, I don't know how to be more peaceful. I don't know. I could start going to church and praying for more peace in my life if I go to a church and do it versus if I do it at home, I suppose, according to the guy that just got the shit beat out of him and the cops were nowhere to help him when he needed help. Sorry, dude. I mean, you know, you start counseling me on how to deal with dirty cops, I'm going to start counseling you on how to deal with life. Dude, you better get a fucking clue. I'm just saying. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for popping in. Thanks for hanging out this long, mods. I super, super appreciate you. You guys, get your cameras out, please, and just get it documented. And let's hope for some change in Englewood. If you'd like to sign my petitions and you're a registered voter in the city of Englewood, please let me know. I'll come to you if that's easier. And we want to fill these petitions up so it can get on the ballot in Englewood for people to decide whether or not they should vote for their mayor. You know, the mayor seems to have a problem here making the city manager do his job and clean up this fucking police department. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to help try to support that movement and hope that, you know, something happens with that. Bye, guys.